Hello everybody, my name is Miss MacArthur and I'm one of the teachers here in the art department, and I'm going to take a few minutes today to talk to you about the art department at Evergreen Park and all the fun things it has to offer. So let's take a look. Now, there are 3 art teachers that work here in the building. There's myself, Miss MacArthur, I'm right here, Mr. Menarek, and Miss Safranek. Now, Mr. Menarek actually was taught by myself and Miss Safranek before later doing my maternity leave and becoming a teacher here. So all 3 of us are very familiar with the building, and we've been here a long time. If you are looking for us, you can find me in room 142, Mr. Menarek in room 147, and Miss Safranek in 140. So we are down at the north end of the building, and you'll definitely be able to tell you're in the art department because we have tons of display cases in the hall and lots of artwork covering the walls. So let's keep going. Now, the art classes that we currently offer at Evergreen Park High School are drawing, painting, photography, computer graphics, ceramic sculpture and jewelry, and animation and screenplay. Now, once you have taken those classes, you have the chance to then take a studio class. So there's studio drawing and painting, studio photography, studio computer graphics, studio ceramic sculpture and jewelry, and studio animation and screenplay. Now, some other standalone classes we have an AP Art History class, which is amazing and will give you AP college credit. We have a beginning art class, which lets you kind of experiment with all the different mediums. And we have an intro to art class. That class is actually coupled with computer concept, and you would take half the semester in art and half the semester in a computer class. Now, once you finish these studio classes, so you say you're a student who took photography, studio photography, you would then have the option to take a third class, a studio art class, where you would develop an AP portfolio using the stuff that you learned in photography and studio photography. So basically, you're building on your previous knowledge to get yourself college art credit, for simply continuing to do the work that you love. Now, let me talk for a second about our computer graphics class. Now, in that class, you will actually be on the computer the whole time. You'll be utilizing Adobe programs like Illustrator and Photoshop. Basically, you learn the basics of the computer graphics trade. So you learn about design, you learn about the art elements and principles and how you would apply them to a career in graphic design. Now, graphic design is one of the biggest careers out there for the art department, so this class would be very beneficial for that. But it is a basic class. But once you get the basics in, you can then go on to the studio computer graphics class. Now, photography is a class that isn't just about how good you take a selfie. It has more things to learn than that. So we'll talk about different compositional techniques for photography. So are you using the rule of thirds? Are you framing? Are you using leading lines? We'll do both darkroom photography, like you can see in this picture, as well as digital photography. You'll actually even make your own camera out of paper, which is really cool. And then from that camera, you will make your own prints. So there is a digital component. About 50% of the stuff we do is digital, and about 50% of it is fine art and in the darkroom. So there's both. Okay, and animation is really cool because it not only lets you create, drawn animation pieces, but we have something called Wacom boards. Okay, so right here, if you're looking where my mouse is, you can see we have students drawing completely on screens in front of them. So it's essentially taking the information that you're drawing and putting it straight into the computer. From there, we can create GIFs, we can create actually rendered videos. If you've been to our art show, you can see that those videos do play on a loop, and you'll be able to, share that out into the world. Now, we also do things like flip books. We watch animated movies because we talk about plot and we talk about camera angle and we talk about character development. and we go through, what makes good storytelling and how does your character that you develop play into that storytelling. So animation is a very fun class. Ceramic sculpture and jewelry. Okay, you're going to be learning about the basics of ceramics as well as sculpture as well as jewelry. Okay, ceramic sculpture and jewelry, you can then take a studio class, like you can see one of the dresses his studio students were making out of mixed materials for that sculptural component. He'll teach you like hand building technique, wheel throwing techniques, as well as, special processes. So like a raku firing, which we actually did a workshop for, where the students built pottery and then brought it outside and actually set it on fire with the help of our specialist who comes in, and we get really, really cool glaze techniques. So that's just one of the things you do in ceramic sculpture and jewelry. Introduction to art and beginning art, like I said, that's your little bit of everything, your basic art class. You'll do some ceramics, you'll do some sculpture, you'll do some paint, you'll use markers, colored pencils, and it's basically just getting you used to using the art elements and principles and starting to refine your skills and decide what kind of artist you would like to be. Now drawing, this is where it gets a little bit more advanced, even though you can take drawing, right away. If you took the beginning art class, it would build on those concepts. Now drawing, we tend to look at the different drawing mediums. We use pastels, we use colored pencils, charcoal. What's great about drawing is you do something called the memory project, where we get photographs from orphans from other countries, and those pictures we then draw and then send back, which is really cool. So these pictures down here are all photographs of orphans from different countries. Now here's a charcoal piece, pastel, we practice drawing fabric, and then we can even get into the experimenting with the different mediums on top of each other. Okay, painting, same thing. There are lots and lots of different types of paint. There's oil paint, there's acrylic paint, there's watercolor, and in this class you spend time exploring all of those. Okay, one of the favorite projects of a lot of our students is they do a hero project, and they do a painting of someone in their lives that is their hero, which is a very cool project, and it's a project that's relatable to a lot of students. Also in painting, we don't just paint realistically. We explore those other types of painting so we can really, figure out what your style is, what you like. These art classes are about connecting to you and connecting yourself to the media. Okay? What is going to make you a better artist, and how can we help you become that? Okay, field trips. Some of our art classes do go on field trips. We'll go to the Art Institute of Chicago. We'll take a look at art. We'll go on tours. We've gone to sculpture parks. We have, the Raku Workshop every semester for the ceramic students. There are a lot of different opportunities here for you to get out into the community and see what's going on, in the art world. Okay, technology. As an art department, we use our iPads daily. Like I said, the Wacom boards are so key in the graphics classes. So like photography, when we're doing the digital aspects, computer graphics, we'll use them, and even our animation students. So it's basically, how do we get you to become better artists using the technology provided, because this is what's out in the workforce. Now we use the Adobe Suite in our computer labs, but we also use Adobe Sketch for our iPad. So it's like having a sketchbook on you at all times, which is super cool. Now art shows, we participate in multiple art shows throughout the year, and at those art shows we do have students that win prizes, get ribbons, and we're very proud of that. It's our goal for you to become an art student and for us to put your work up in the art show. Now, you've probably seen the big art show that we have in the LRC every May, which is great, but we are so much more than that one art show. Now, where to get help or make art? Okay, you can come before or after school. We'd love to help you out. You can sign up for one of us during your resource period. Okay, we will be holding workshops and, letting you get to know these classes. Okay, so you can make the decision, is photography right for me? Am I a ceramics person? Do I want to, dabble in drawing? So really, look at your email, listen to the announcements, and be on the lookout for the workshops that we are going to be putting together soon. Now, I want to thank you guys for letting me, talk to you about the art department, and just once again reiterate, if you have any questions, stop down and see one of us. I'm Miss MacArthur. I'm in 142. There's Mr. Menark in room 147 and Mr. Franek in 140. We look forward to this great year, and we look forward to seeing you in our art classes pretty soon.